Greetings! I am Sir Godfrey, and today I'm going to be talking about a movie. I guess technically it's more of the review of a movie, or, I guess when you think about it, it's kind of the review of the review of the movie. Star Wars 8, The Last Jedi, the one that sucks. We're not actually going to be reviewing the movie. In fact, I personally haven't seen the movie. I've just heard all about it from this lad who keeps his hand up my bum. Yeah, and he's pretty mad about it too, because he could have watched Greatest Showman in IMAX instead. I have no idea who that was. Well, anyway, let's discuss the somewhat interesting press around this flaming diaper of a movie.
Some time ago, this little doozy was making its rounds on the front page of the internet where everyone could see. Now, when people talk about the Star Wars fans who didn't like Last Jedi, they're talking about the Rotten Tomatoes score. In this case, the critics, in all of their wisdom, said that the movie was pretty damn good, and they gave it a certified fresh 90% from all of the average from them, and however that works. And the audience, let's just say it's less than stellar. But J.J. Abrams is unfazed. Now, he's the director of Star Wars 7, The Force Awakens, not 8, but he's sticking up for his buddy, Rian Johnson, by defending the movie. So let's just read the article for a little bit. Surely it's not, a cesspit of bias or anything, I'm sure. As he prepares to re-enter the Star Wars universe with his upcoming and still untitled Episode 9, Force Awakens filmmaker J.J. Abrams is unbothered by the recent backlash to the diversity of Star Wars The Last Jedi. Whoa, backlash to the diversity. I didn't know that was a thing, but okay, well, let's continue. I'm sure they know what they're talking about, after all. Asked by IndieWire about pushback from Star Wars fans who decried Rian Johnson's film for its focus on more female-centric stories, boasted by the addition of franchise newbies like Laura Dern and Kelly Marie Tran, Abrams was clear. Their problem isn't Star Wars. Their problem is being threatened. Okay. It's a little bit of a straw man to say that the pushback from Star Wars fans was about female-centric stories. I mean, considering that I don't know of any proof of this, and the fans seemed perfectly fine when Wonder Woman came out, and other similar things with lots of female characters, maybe, just maybe, it's more likely that they have other issues with the movie. But that's not really the issue here. We're talking about this article, so let's get back to it. The article goes on with its little evidence section, its logos appeal, if you will. Okay, it says, in December, an alt-right group claimed responsibility for lowering the film's Rotten Tomatoes scores, claiming that its issues with the film partially stemmed from introducing more female characters into the franchise's universe. As the Telegraph noted at the time, user reviews included comments like politically correct to the point of boredom, SJW propaganda, and I'm frustrated that feminism and diversity have made their way into this film. This has ruined Star Wars for me as well as my kids. Keep liberalism out of it and stop ruining once good things. Now, aside from that last quote, the other two actually aren't necessarily connected to being threatened by women. I mean, that could be taken in different ways. Not extreme, but having political messages in movies can be annoying whether you agree with the political message or not. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that there's a narrative here. There's a specific story that this article wants you to see from these events. In the first paragraph, they establish that there is this disparity, and that establishes a conflict. They create a good guy, bad guy dynamic on the conflict by making it sound like the pushback from Star Wars fans was a sexist movement, which makes them the bad guys. And J.J. Abrams is the protagonist of this little article, and so he comes in to denounce it, Their problem isn't Star Wars. Their problem is being threatened. Oh, he's so big. He's such the bigger person. You know what I'm saying? But then we go, oh, but what about the fan disparity? I mean, we're democratic here. I mean, we think that if enough people believe something, it must have some merit, right? So what's up with that? I mean, enough people dislike the movie, so is J.J. Abrams wrong to defend it? What's going on? To which the article comes in and says, in December, an alt-right group claimed responsibility for lowering the film's Rotten Tomatoes scores. So that's the reason for the disparity. It's artificial. It doesn't actually exist. Now, the rest of this article is literally just fluff. If you don't believe me, I'll leave the link in the description so you can look at it yourself and know that it isn't really... It doesn't... I'm not taking you for a ride or anything. Okay, but let's look at this link for their evidence that the alt-right group claimed responsibility. The link takes us to another article that talks about this idea in more detail. An alt-right group named Down with Disney's treatment of franchises and its fanboys is taking responsibility for flooding Rotten Tomatoes with negative reviews of the Rian Johnson-directed blockbuster. One of the biggest headlines surrounding the film has been the fan backlash, specifically the movie's shockingly low Rotten Tomatoes user score. As of this posting, The Last Jedi currently has a 54% user score from over 132,000 reviews, and it's different now, but this was a little while ago. Actually, it's lower now. The number is in direct contrast with the film's A cinema score and 92% critic score on the website, which has made some question what exactly is going on. A moderator for the alt-right group has broken his silence to the Huffington Post to claim that the group has been using bots to significantly bring down the film's Rotten Tomatoes user score. The moderator explained to the Huffington Post that the group is upset with Star Wars for introducing more female characters into the franchise's universe. The group is also not happy that Poe Dameron has become a victim of the anti-mansplaining movement, and that characters like Poe and Luke Skywalker are in danger of being turned gay. The moderator said that men should be reinstated as rulers of society and expressed distaste for the way The Last Jedi disrespects the franchise's history. So, this is the word of some guy who runs a Facebook page. That could be anyone. You could be a total loony and be able to do that. You could be a total, just nobody, and make a Facebook page and say something offensive or whatnot, and then these people will take notice of you, I guess. Oh, and then there's this little bit down here. As for his issues with the focus on female characters, the moderator said, "Did you not see everything that came out of Ghostbusters? That is why I'm sick and tired of men being portrayed as idiots. There was a time we ruled society, and I want to see that again. That is why I voted for Donald Trump." It's so obvious what's going on here, why they're choosing this guy to be the spokesperson for the right, I guess, or the people they disagree with. Surely you can see this. So, being the educated gentleman that I am, I did a little bit of Google research, and I came across the hard truth. Rotten Tomatoes itself came out and says no one's hacking The Last Jedi's low audience score. So it looks like it's a big company's word against an attention-seeking internet troll. Who would you believe? With box office sales for Star Wars The Last Jedi debuting at the second highest in history, the discrepancy between Rotten Tomatoes' highest critical marks, 93% fresh as of this writing, and low audience score, 54%, it's actually lower now, has been a real cinephile's enigma. In response to claims that the audience score has been rigged, Rotten Tomatoes verified that it is indeed accurate. We have had several teams of network, security, and social database experts who constantly monitor reviews and ratings to ensure that they are genuine, spokesperson Benson told Forbes. Benson is the vice president of communications for Fandango, Rotten Tomatoes' parent company. They haven't seen anything unusual with The Last Jedi, except that there has been an uptick in the number of written user reviews submitted. Aside from that, everything is normal and we don't see any unusual activity. We looked at The Last Jedi compared to other blockbusters, and it has been consistent with those past films. Despite several theories that the scoring system could be altered via bots or the result of one fan gone rogue, wink wink, we know what they're talking about, Benson dismissed all claims that the 39-point disparity is inauthentic. A piece by Vox breaks down all the reasons the film could be receiving so much backlash, listing things like progressiveness and corny jokes. Still, The Last Jedi grossed $220 million for its debut in the U.S. and so Vox breaks down reasons. You could also do a quick search on YouTube for anyone who disliked the movie and hear their reasons, and whether you agree with their reasons or not, it has nothing to do with female characters. Any honest look at this will show you that. So anyway, back to the original article. There's a narrative here that they're trying to put across. And they're trying to deceive you to thinking something that just isn't true. To believe a straw man argument to share their worldview. And this is a very widely read article. It was like a featured page or trending on the internet. But you don't have to be fooled. You can think for yourself.
Well, that's about all I wanted to say. Just wanted to let you know that just how easy it can be to be misled by the way people say things. So, good day.